As you can see, one of the things that varies between school systems is what classes are offered and how they are set up. Next, we will be looking at another major aspect of school, grades. First, we will see one of the most common forms of grades, being graded from an A to an F, as it is presented in the American school system. There, the student's final grade is determined by an average of all the scores achieved on work throughout the 4 years, and including all the exams taken.
So in our school, how we do grades is you're given either an A, B, C, D, or F.
It's a very complicated, very unnecessarily complicated grade system.
For us, a 92 to 100 is an A.
B is 84% to 92%.
83 to 76 was a C.
C 76%. I know 74%.
A 73 to an 84 is a C.
75 to 65 was a D, and then 64 below was an F.
It's based on basically anything your teacher can assign you. Any grade your teacher can give you will be averaged in.
The grades definitely depend on the work that you produce, not like, you know, the effort that you give.
The grade system, because it's not completely based on exams, where it's only exams are only 20% of your grade, and your exam grade goes down and your whole school year grade doesn't go down because you can just bring it back up.
Like, if you try, you're gonna do well. And if you don't try, you're not gonna do well. And it's not just about all your knowledge, it's also about if you want this or not.
And then they average all the scores together, and then you get a quarter grade, and you get that each quarter. And then there's 2 exams, one's the midterm and one's the final. And they combine, they average the midterm and the final and make an exam grade for you. And then they take the exam grade and the 4 different quarter grades, average all of that together, and you get your final grade.
It goes on a point system of 4.0 being an A, 3, B, C, 2, D, 1, F, fail, 0.
At the end of your high school career, they just take all of those numbers, average it, give you a grade point average.
Which colleges would then look at and then figure out if they want to accept you into their college.
A lot of people in our school often complain that it's not very fair when comparing it to other schools.
And each school district gets to make its own rules. So where a 92% is an A in this school district, it could be 90% is an A in the neighboring school district. Parkland, for example, is 90% is an A. So when that comes, but they also do the GPA thing where they give you points for an A. So a kid who gets a 91 in Parkland gets a 4, whereas a kid who gets a 91 here only gets a 3.
Being someone that was on the edge of the A to the B, or the B to the C, is extremely discouraging.
Colleges look at your GPA after your grades are converted into GPA points, and it kind of gives us a slight disadvantage.
Unlike the American system, where exams account for 20% of the final grade, in Sweden, you are not given a final exam at all. As grades, you are given a G, VG, or MVG as a passing grade, or an IG for not passing. Determined by different criteria than not only points, the grades are in the end averaged to produce a final grade.
Det finns 3 betyg som är godkända, och det är G, VG och MVG.
3 godkända och 1 underkänt.
Det är väl att man är aktiv på lektionerna och liksom svarar på frågor och ställer frågor om man inte förstår och så här. Inte bara sitta tyst och låtsas att man inte finns.
Och om någon inte har varit närvarande tillräckligt på lektionerna eller inte gjort sina uppgifter så saknas betygsunderlag, säger man, och det sätts på ett streck.
Du kan få IG, det är ett betyg, men du är inte godkänd i den kursen. Och du kan få G, och det är godkänd. VG, det är väl godkänd. Och MVG, det är mycket väl godkänd.
Sen så för att få G då, det är bara basic fakta. Veta vad som står och så här olika saker, typ jorden är rund. Det är så här. VG är typ att du reflekterar på vad som kan vara fel och vad kan stämma och lite sånt. Så för att få MVG, det är allt det andra, fakta, reflektering, sen ska du analysera ditt svar också.
I Sverige fungerar det så att du har kriterier istället för att inte bara uppnå poäng. Så att det är viktigt att du tänker och jämför dåtid med nutid och analyserar vad du gör för att uppnå de högre betygen om du siktar på det.
Och det är som i USA att 70% är G, 80 i VG, så 90 till 100 i MVG.
Det här har ju läraren bestämmer när vi har prov. Och sen har vi nationella prov som görs samtidigt i hela Sverige i vissa ämnen.
Ja, för att gå ut så måste du ha över en viss poäng. G är 10 poäng, VG 15 och MG 20. Så läser du ett visst antal kurser och får ett slutbetyg i varje kurs. Medelvärdet av det du får då är det betyget får, men så det är mellan 10 och 20. Så du ska få över 20 för att gå ut gymnasiet.
Ja, det är också. Jag tycker att det är särskilt tid. Du borde börja betyg tidigare i skolan i Sverige. Tycker jag. För att i Sverige får de inte ens nämna betyg för oss innan vi börjar 8.
Det betygssystemet vi har nu tycker inte jag är jättebra. Du får få grader, vi har bara 3 steg.
Det kan faktiskt vara med. Det först du visar så här lärare typ, ja du får VG plus. Men det är fortfarande i slutskalan, i slutsaken så är det fortfarande inte mycket världsfint VG.
Så någon kan vara jättenära MG men få samma betyg som någon som precis klarat sig över G. Och det syns inte i papperna när du söker in till universitetet sen. Men så jag hoppas att de kommer göra större skala. Annars är kriterierna bra. Och det gör eleverna väldigt medvetna. Men de hade behövt fler steg.
Last, we will be looking at the grading system used in the IB, where a grade out of 7 is given for each class. This grade is largely based on the final exam for that class, and in the end, the grades from all 6 classes add up to 42. 3 potential bonus points are also available from the TOK and the extended essay to give us the final grade out of 45.
Yeah, it's based on 1, 2, 3, 7 for each subject. Total, it's 6 subjects, so it should be 42.
So you get 42, which is from your 6 subjects, because 6 7s are 42. So you get a mark out of 42.
And then you can get up to 3 bonus points for extended essay and TOK, and it's really something to try to not slack off if you can, because it's really helpful when you're at the end to think that you might have those extra bonus points to make you reach the university levels you might need.
Well, the grading system, which is out of 7, is, I personally feel in a way a bit limited because you could be in between a 6 and a 7, whereas there's a big gap because there's only 7 marks. Whereas if it's out of the American system, which is to 100, you could be 95, which is to 100, and there's a difference with that.
And that's very different from the French system where it's always over 20. And it takes a while to adapt to and get to understand the system, grading system here.
24 is generally the regarded pass rate because that's the regarded pass rate for in every subject.
Final exam, I think it has a big percentage for the final grade.
There's a lot of coursework, that's for sure. In the IB, it's because it counts for a certain percentage of your grade in your subject. And that's nice because it allows you to show what you're able to do throughout the year, not just during final examination.
I think that personally depends on your skills in the subject to achieve a high mark or not. If you work hard for it, then it's possible. If you're lazy and you don't do your work, then it's harder.
It's really, I mean, I want to say it's complicated because it is, just like the way, not the way it works, but the structure of it, like the structure of the grading system itself. Like, for example, on geography, you get 20 points for an essay, 15 points for another essay. They add it all up to make your final geography grade. They mark that out of 7, and then that gets sent off to your final bigger grade. So in a sense it's really, it's a long process. But if you think about it, it's really good as well, because they do the bell curve.
They first grade all the copies worldwide, and then they decide percentage-wise how to distribute them from 1 to 7. So depending on the mean of people who got a certain percentage grade, that'll translate into 5, 6, or 7, so it changes every year.
And there's also one thing I really like about the grading system is the criteria. The teachers always hand us a copy of the criteria, and so we know exactly what we need to do during the examination.
So there it is. Now it's up to you. Would you prefer to choose a career in high school or to leave your options open? Do you want a limited choice of classes that offer good breadth, or would you prefer a wide variety of much narrower options? Is it better to be graded on the work that you create or the effort that you put in? This is your decision to make, and it's our job to make sure you are aware of all the options available.